The first debate session comes to an end. The Council now proceeds to the second debate session. Members who wish to speak in this session, please press the Request to Speak button. The theme for this session is Continue to Create Strong Impetus Growth. The policy areas covered in this session has been set out in the script for members' easy reference. Mr. Shanghai Long. Thank you, President. I speak in support of Ms. Starry Lee's motion on continuing to create strong impetus for growth. I have pointers to make. In the PA 2022, we had a clear blueprint for development for the coming 5 years. We should attract talents, and we have adjusted our policy to attach more importance to talents. We should attract and retain talents. This is already a core priority for all governments. The CE has stressed time again that we must trawl for talent. The focus is to trawl, but if we do not get things done, it's just empty slogan. I must praise the government for this initiative. Over 100,000 talents have secured Hong Kong ID card. The question is whether these talents can be attracted to stay and work and live here and call Hong Kong their home. To promote the development of the city, we must enhance the vibrancy of our industries. We must have a comprehensive set of policies for retaining talents. First, on nurturing of talents, I suggest we set up an interdepartmental working group in order to care for newly arrived talents. There was a 10 billion raise plus fund to enlighten the INT ecosystem, but the support is mainly for higher institutions. We don't have enough resources for talents who make their startups in Hong Kong. In fact, they face great difficulties even if they want to bring in their own funds. Now we have about got 64 subsidy schemes related to sponsorship for talents. Indeed, we have many different schemes, but they are too fragmented, and that has made it difficult for new talents to apply, and there is too much administrative work, and we have a lot of administrative work, and I think the government is spending too much on the overhead of the administrative arrangement, and sometimes experienced agencies make a profit out of these schemes. I hope the government can provide integrated support. We should help them in investment, etc., so that startups can grow and develop in Hong Kong quickly. And secondly, the Labour and Welfare Bureau should enhance the applicability of the Top Talent Pass scheme. The whole world is competing for talents. We cannot just rely on local talents. While we launched the Top Talent Pass scheme last year, with good results, there is still room for improvement. In order to attract and tech people to Hong Kong for long-term development, the scope of the scheme should not just cover the 180 graduates from the current 180 tertiary institutions. We should also broaden the scheme to accept master and doctorate degree graduates from these institutions, and we should go for institutions that are top-notch in areas such as IT, robotics, analytics, etc., so that we can attract different types of talents to Hong Kong. These measures can help to enhance our global competitiveness. In the R&D area, we must ensure that people with R&D strength can find their niche in Hong Kong, and it is important that we can utilize the outcome of R&D. We must have KPIs. Each bureau should at least procure 4 items of R&D products. So at least we can purchase 60 commercial products from R&D outcomes that can promote the application of local R&D products, and this will be way to attract enterprises to engage in R&D products, and that can also help our GDP growth. I have mentioned this proposal no more than 10 times at different meetings of this council. If the government doesn't adopt my proposal, I have no choice but to sing it again and again. So we must have a flexible and effective talent policy before we can accomplish the target set by the CE. We do not just go there to draw for talents. We must succeed in doing so. Now, apart from talents, I like to comment on our policy initiatives on promoting the development of a digital government. Digital government is very important to the building of a smart city. We must have innovative public services to enhance the effectiveness of governance, to promote economic growth, to benefit the community. Digital government should integrate with us, with our smart city, and we should also have cross-boundary public services rolled out so that we can all benefit from the development of innovation technology. Just like the competition for talents, these measures must be able to deliver results. For instance, is I Am Smart really that smart to use? Many members have commented on the shortcomings of I Am Smart and how it has yet to fully utilize the advantages of information technology.
The government promotes I Am Smart. Members of the public should register for I Am Smart Plus for digital certification service. However, I received some complaints. $60 million was spent on developing I Am Smart for processing government applications and registrations, and yet it is not efficient. For example, when signing up for an account, a member of the public must take pictures of the ID card for uploading at 3 angles. Let's not forget that 5 months ago, the Finance Committee approved a funding of $200 million for the development of I Am Smart, and many members already made a lot of criticisms on the app, such as the glaring effect. I hope that the government will pay heed to the comments. After signing up for the account, when logging on to the LCSD department and other departments, a user will need to fill in forms again. Same as the transport department. If you want to apply for something under the transport department, the web page will go from I Am Smart to the transport department and then back to I Am Smart. So the government should pay attention to user comments. In order to use digital signature, you need to sign up for I Am Smart Plus. Now, the public cannot apply for an I Am Smart Plus account electronically or through the app. They must personally visit the kiosk or service counter and then use their mobile phone to register for I Am Smart Plus. This is no different from using the traditional method of registration. It doesn't become more convenient. In terms of digital public services, the government should gauge the performance and effectiveness from time to time. The government should also collect user feedback to enhance user experience. More importantly, the government should take a user-oriented approach so as to adopt more facilitation measures to further enhance the government digital services. Mr. Chan Siu-Hong. Thank you, Deputy President. In this session, I'd like to speak on enhancing the development of digital government and also dovetailing with the national strategies and enhance the development of the 8 centers. The OGCIO and the Efficient Office will be combined to form the Digital Policy Office. By combining these 2 offices, I'm sure that in terms of manpower and resources, things will be more efficient. So I support this idea. Last year, in the policy address, the government put forward the vision of setting up a one-stop portal for digital government services. And yet, the ideas are mostly about digitizing government services, going paperless, instead of being truly smart. In the State Council's guiding opinion on digital government, a digital governance system should be set up so as to enhance the synergistic management and service across different bureaus and departments. The key to building a digital government is cross-bureau interdepartmental collaboration. A commissioner post should be set up on digital governance, digital data, so as to consolidate relevant resources within the government. We should open up government data to facilitate data sharing. We need to make good use of big data. We need to open up the use of personal data. The government has the data exchange gateway. Consent will be given for exchange of personal data between different regulators. This will be dovetailed with the Hong Kong MA's commercial data interchange by the end of this year. I hope this can enhance digital government services. Now, on these 2 fronts, apart from issues concerning the personal data privacy, there is also the question on the authority. I question whether sufficient authorization is given to the department for the opening up and sharing of personal data, whether there is sufficient authority to coordinate this platform for shared data. Will it be able to take forward legislative work? Digital government involves a change of mindset within the government and the governing tenet. In order to build digital structure, digital infrastructure, we also need to enhance education on digital services. We need to have talents within the government. These talents should work for different government departments so as to drive the reform. In order to promote innovative development of the artificial intelligence industry, building the AI supercomputing center is just the first step. In terms of finance, healthcare, raw data is of essence. If we're able to unleash the potential of raw data by turning them into something useful, it will be very useful for us. The government should use a supercomputing center as the base, combined with our advantage of having strong R&D capabilities. We can have cluster development and attract top-notch R&D talents to come to Hong Kong so as to enrich the ecosystem relating to AI and innovation technology. I so submit. Ms. Carmen Kan. Thank you, Deputy President. On continue to create strong impetus for growth, the Northern Metropolis and Kao Yi Chau artificial islands will require over $100 billion of investment. The Committee for Financing Major Development Projects will be set up. This will be led by the Financial Secretary. They will look into different financing options. I strongly support the establishment. The committee will comprise financiers and other experts. I think legal experts also have a role to play because they can make reference to the feasibility of different financing options for infrastructure projects around the world. They can conduct analysis. For new infrastructure projects and existing infrastructure, they can be bundled together to form a new package of financing tools to foster public-private collaboration. Apart from taking forward a study, the government should also invite the expression of interest from private investors that are not binding. Now we need to give play to our advantage of being connected with the mainland, being connected with the world and having the country's support so that we can be the springboard for mainland enterprises to go global. We are the super value adder. I think that this policy can be implemented to unleash our potential. When the government reports our work to the central authorities, this should be put in the list of requests from Hong Kong government to the central authorities so that we can further contribute to the Belt and Road Initiative with our advantages. The headquarters economy will definitely drive the development of financial and professional services in Hong Kong. Now, we need money as well as talents. I'm concerned about the Capital Investment Entrance Scheme, or CIES. The government should further consider the synergy between the CIES and other talent admission schemes to avoid policy risks, such as the stamp duty waiver arrangements under the CIES. The investment threshold is $30 million, and one cannot invest in the real estate property. Whereas if you come under the Top Talent Pass scheme under Stream A, the threshold is lower. If you earn more than $2.5 million annually, you are eligible. They will also enjoy the stamp duty exemption arrangement. So an applicant under the CIES may then choose to apply under the Top Talent Pass scheme instead. And will this affect the popularity of the CIES? The government will also work on education, housing, healthcare, entrepreneurship. But apart from that, in order to help top talents integrate into our society and contribute to our society, the government should also consider financial services. And I need to declare that I am an office bearer of the Top Talent Pass Scheme Advisory Committee. In July this year, at the interactive exchange and Q&A session with the Chief Executive, I asked about the training for international legal talents. The Chief Executive undertook that an academy will be set up so that through a systematic approach, we can formulate policies to train international legal talents and give play to our advantage. I strongly support this initiative. I just heard from the Secretary for Justice in this regard. Digital economy is a major economic driver. Last year, I moved a members' motion. I advocated the establishment of a digital policy office. Now, the Digital Policy Office will be set up. The Commissioner post will also be set up to spearhead the initiative. I'm happy to learn that there will be high-level steer. The relevant legal framework will be formulated. From the recent cryptocurrency incident, we understand that it is very important to disseminate message with clarity and focus on public education. I think that the government should further improve the legal framework to protect investors. On innovation technology development, through Race Plus scheme, the government will promote transformation of R&D outcome and commercialization of the result. The $10 billion fund will be set up, but there are divergent views on the government's participation. I understand that this will help enhance the competitiveness of the R&D teams so that they enjoy an edge in the process. I hope that the transformation of R&D outcomes will bring more benefits to Hong Kong. So, for example, Hong Kong should be the listing place of the enterprise, and that the R&D outcomes should be able to reach the GBA market so that the money is well spent. It is important, likewise, to allow funding protocols, etc., to cross the boundary and reach the mainland market. The MOU was signed in June this year. It's very popular. We thank the central authorities for the support. the chief executive also promotes flow of data across the GBA, especially on healthcare and INT. I hope that specific measures will be rolled out so that on the premise of cybersecurity, we can facilitate the flow of data in the Greater Bay Area. Finally, in terms of International Financial Center, the Hong Kong MA will expedite the enhancement to the financial infrastructure, such as upgrading of the CMU, Central Moneymaker Unit. This will help bolster our status as an international hub and also maintaining trading under severe weather. All these measures can help bolster our status as an international financial center. I so submit.
Mr. Sunny Tang, thank you, Madam Deputy. In relation to the 8 centers, well, we are very proactive, and in fact, the BPA suggestions as well as the textile and clothing industry suggestions have been mostly adopted. Well, it is good to see that we are going to have the Hong Kong Fashion Week. The Hong Kong Fashion Week won't just benefit our own sector, it will also add a momentum to our economic growth. Take the Fashion Week in Paris and other places. Well, it will boost the tourism and it brings about a lot of income to the retail and hospitality industries. And in fact, it is also a matter of export of soft power and export of cultural elements. Well, in the work report of the 20th National Congress, well, I think it's important to drive tourism by having a cultural element. Well, Hong Kong is well placed to become the East-West Center for international cultural exchange. The Fashion Week will be very effective. I think there are a number of points that we need to bear in mind. It should be a mega event so that we can have the backing of our country while we connect with the rest of the world, and we become the melting pot for Eastern and Western cultures. Buyers and visitors will come to Hong Kong. We should also have a local element, and we should help our local designers to go out, and we should become the bridge so that mainland brands, mainland designers can use this platform of the Fashion Design Week to go out together with our designers so that they can tap the international market. And we should also take this opportunity to highlight Chinese culture. Say, for example, we should have a dedicated sort of session to emphasize the richness and beauty of traditional Chinese culture, traditional Chinese costume, and our traditional Chinese craftsmanship. Fourthly, while we prepare for the Hong Kong Fashion Design Week, the government should take the lead to make sure that there will be interdisciplinary cooperation, collaboration, both in the private market as well as in the public sector. A lot has to be done. We must make sure that we liaise with the hotels, the airliners, the brand names, etc. We must make sure that we don't take it lightly when it comes to partnership. So policy bureaus, our public organizations and quasi-organizations should be pulled together to make sure that this mega event will be successful. We have a very strong foundation when it comes to our fashion and textile industries. Manufacturing doesn't take place in Hong Kong, but then, in fact, we take the lead in the supply chain. In fact, it contributes a lot to our GDP. There is a lot of room for improvement. The potential is huge. The government has been injecting a lot of resources in driving the growth of our industry, but we haven't got a dedicated authority or department to coordinate our development and make good use of the resources for this sector. So I hope the government will continue to consider the setting up of a council for fashion and textile industries so that we can cover different areas like supply chain, etc., so that there will be dedicated efforts, and then we can rely on our fundamental strengths, and we can make good use of the domestic, mainland, and overseas opportunities, and we can turn out high-quality products. I'm grateful to the Central I'm grateful to the CE for his efforts to improve our strength in becoming an international I&T center. We will be having emerging industries, AI, etc. But what about the textile industry? I think you mustn't overlook its potential for development. And I hope that under the Commissioner for Industry, we can take a dual-track approach, and then we can transform and upgrade the textile industry. And then light industries can also be covered by blueprint, so that we have diversified industrial development, we have new industrialization, and then we can achieve breakthroughs in the bottlenecks. Smart manufacturing will be critical. Last year, the PA said that in 5 years, there should be more than 135 smart production lines. Their manufacturers could make good use of the subsidies to run smart production lines, and we have full garments. I hope the government can continue to find ways to optimize the scheme, streamline the procedures, put in more resources so that we can contribute to the new industrialization of Hong Kong. The ASEAN markets, the mainland markets, will provide a lot of good opportunities. I'm grateful to the CE for taking on board the BPA's view. That is, we should have the e-commerce. We should have e-commerce. We have the scheme called e-commerce easy. I think it is good. In this way, we can also gain a lot from that, and we should also look at the opportunities along the Silk Road. I welcome the ideas to raise the amount covered by the Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation. The statutory cap on contingent liability will be raised. In this way, we can take on more risk, and we should also draw reference from the BUD scheme, so that the application procedures can be streamlined and simplified, and then SMEs would not find it that difficult to go to the mainland market as well as the emerging market, so that we can ride on the opportunities offered in the Belt and Road Initiative. There are uncertainties in the geopolitical scene. SMEs are facing a lot of challenges. We are still a far cry from full normalization of our markets. So when it comes to the review of the minimum wage rate, we need to be very cautious. Data is always lagging behind. Instead of arguing about the actual rate, maybe there will be debates about the mechanism itself. It won't be good for employers and employees. We have to add to the growth momentums of Hong Kong. The Northern Metropolis is important. There is an action plan for that. It is good. There's an action agenda. It is good. And it will be the major pillar for the I&T development of Hong Kong. I think the two parks in the cooperation zone in the loop should be coordinated, and information flow, talent flow, capital flow, etc. Should be facilitated. I think we should have dedicated policies so that we can give full play to one country, two systems. I hope that for the Northern Metropolis, the government will tell us more about the location of the R&D institutions, as well as the distribution of the different sectors. In this way, we can attract more talents. Talents, of course, are important. The government has got long-term, medium-term, and short-term measures to address manpower shortages and talent shortages. Top Talent Pass scheme should be continued. With the development of the Northern Metropolis and I&T, there will be a huge demand for I&T talents. We also need technically skilled people as well. I welcome the idea to have applied sciences, and in fact the VTC has told us that it is trying hard to sort of upgrade itself, and I hope the government will support that. And then we should attract more people to come to Hong Kong to take up vocational training. They should be allowed to stay in Hong Kong. And in this way, we can address the manpower shortage. So I welcome the vocational professionals admission scheme. We should trawl for talents. Together with the industries, we will lobby for more initiatives so that we have a brighter future. Thank you. Dr. Wendy Hong. Thank you, Mr. President. I support the motion of thanks moved by Ms. Starry LEE. I would like to take a broader view in relation to my views concerning the financial services sector. Well, there is an interesting point. There is the Wimbledon effect. For the Wimbledon tennis court, or the tennis competition, it is the most popular one. Every summer, when it takes place in London, London will become the focus of global attention. But then for Wimbledon, since 1936, for 80 years in a row, for the men's single competition, only twice a UK player won the competition. In other words, in most of the competitions, it was won by a foreigner. And it is also true for Japan. In relation to their national sport. So for such a Wimbledon effect, it is also true in the case of financial services sector in Hong Kong, where we're supposed to be a super connector. Capital flows freely in Hong Kong, but then the capital doesn't take root in Hong Kong. It goes from the east to the west and from the west to the east. It has got really nothing to do with Hong Kong itself. For the big firms in Hong Kong, they are not Hong Kong firms. In Singapore, they have got the DBS Bank. But in Hong Kong, I don't think we can claim ourselves of hosting a major international player. In the central, for the elites in the financial sector, it seems that they are not really that connected with Hong Kong. I did talk to one of them. They said that he had been in Hong Kong for decades, and he never read any newspapers, local newspapers. He had only got 2 local employees, a security guard and a IT lady. Well, we have got 18A, Section 18A, being the revamped listing rules. So pre-revenue biotech companies were allowed to list in Hong Kong, and we became the second largest IPO for such biotechs. But then for them, only 2 of them were really connected with Hong Kong. That is, they had a very small office in Hong Kong. In other words, what I want to say is that we're here to raise capital for the biotech companies, but they don't benefit our own industries. We have the IFC, but then it is disconnected from our own industries. In other words, it is not serving the real economy. What is the price? In other words, now our industrial structure is getting more and more undiversified. The financial services industry in the past 10 years or so has contributed more to our GDP, but then it doesn't create a lot of jobs. Only 7.5% of the workers work for this industry. In other words, it cannot create enough jobs for the 7.5 million Hong Kong people. Yes, we do have full employment, but then we don't have we have a wealth-driven economy now. In other words, when you have money, it's easier for you to make more money instead of relying on your labor. So we need to rethink the value of our financial services industry. We should change the outlook of our financial services industry. Other than having the international perspective, we need a local perspective as well, so that the financial services industry will benefit the local workers and can benefit our local industries. Well, industries are more and more reliant on financial tools to achieve our aims. So we can create some financial tools so that the government can take part in restructuring our industries. Well, I'm trying to have a 7-point set of proposals. From day one, becoming a legislator, I've already said that we should set up a Hong Kong version of the Temasek Corporation. Last year, I had my motion debate, and I am grateful to the CE for setting up a similar corporation last year. And we are going. I know that we have got the CEO for that corporation. For the Hong Kong Investment Corporation, I've got some proposals for the corporation, and we have got a lot of expectations. And I will refer my ideas to the CEO of the Hong Kong Investment Corporation. And then for Section 18A and 18C of the main board listing rules, I think we should have a 2-tier system for the listing criteria. In addition to the current one, we should have a more relaxed one so that companies will find it easier to get listed. But then there should be a condition attached to it. That is, they must have their operation in Hong Kong, or their R&D outcomes should be transformed into products in Hong Kong.
They can use our financial platform to help the development of INT. The third proposal is it is proposed that there will be a domiciliation system for companies. Again, we should have a 3-tier system. We should have the lowest tier where the threshold is very low, and we should have a test for its financial operation. The company must operate in Hong Kong to benefit our local economy. Fourthly, we should encourage and lead our financial asset to integrate with our cultural and creative industries so that they can integrate to form a sector to serve the community. The fifth is the development of IP financing, intellectual property. IP financing is an important aspect of IP trading. We can use our financial strength to build up an IP financing institution. We can also consider having this system. A bank bankrupt in the U.S. not because its mode of operation did not work, rather because of its mode of operation. We should have bank. We can take reference from the mode of Silicon Bank because it can help to support enrich our INT ecosystem. Lastly, we should set up an international data exchange or trading center because data is an important aspect and is also important in world trade. We can set up international data exchange as soon as possible. We can promote the cross-boundary flow of data so that we can facilitate international data flow with a proper legislative framework. We must rethink the value of the financial services sector in Hong Kong. Financial services should not just serve the flow of capital. It should also serve our local economy to help our economic transformation so that all sectors of the community can benefit from the fact that we are a world financial center. Dr. Tan Yue Hong, President, I support the motion of thanks for the motion for the policy address. The policy address is very pragmatic and comprehensive. It has incorporated views from different sectors of the community. It reflects the aspirations of our people. It has helped us to integrate into the overall development of the country. It has attracted talents and enterprises, and there are policies to develop our economy on financial services. Now, we have a large-scale project enterprising scheme. Now, for this, we have to thank the Chief Executive for forming the mega project financing system. This has addressed my call to address a lack of financing in Hong Kong. We should continue to develop our financial sector. Now, the government for a long time has devoted little attention to this area. We should tap into this market. Otherwise, our financial structure will be incomplete. We do not have sufficient capacity for mega projects, and social resources cannot be effectively used to dovetail our economic development and our plans. Now, this is particularly important for the development of the northern metropolis. Otherwise, we would lack the support. So I hope we can have a structure for mega projects. We should have the Committee on the Financing of Mega Development Project up and running very soon. Together with the Guangdong provincial government and other sectors, we should support projects like the GBA development, so that for mega projects in Hong Kong, we can have more options for financing. I wrote an article on how, or a proposal on how we can expand the financing options of major development projects. Now, for reclamation and land formation, infrastructure projects. Second, investment in roads, railways, and tunnels. These are infrastructure projects. Third, INT and logistics park, etc. They are more commercialized infrastructure projects. I've discussed the various options for financing of different types of major development projects. We can choose the right approach depending on the category of projects we are working on. I will not elaborate on my own proposal anymore. And then we can have more green elements in the financing. Now, in the northern metropolis, we can use sustainable development as a target. Green principles and sustainability can be built into this for financing, so that Hong Kong can assess our green and sustainability transformation, and on enhancing Hong Kong's position as a world financial center. Now, lower the stamp duty for stock exchange transaction and a reform of GEM have by and large addressed aspirations of the market. However, in general, the market expected more innovative and aggressive measures. I suggest that in our stock market, we must further enhance Stock Connect. We must broaden the Stock Connect so that more small and medium-sized and tech company can benefit. And we should also put in place the new Stock Connect, which is much sought after by the community. We should use the Build and Road initiative and look at the feasibility of financing Belt and Road projects. Now, things are changing in Hong Kong. We focus in the past, we mainly had investment from mature markets. This might decline for a while, and therefore we must tap into new sources. Belt and Road is a new strategic development. We are now working on enhanced collaboration with Belt and Road countries and the Middle East and Africa, etc. We can fully utilize or leverage our advantages, and we can also encourage and attract Belt and Road countries in Hong Kong to use our financial services, and we can have more renminbi denominated products. We should enlarge the use of renminbi so that we can further consolidate Hong Kong's position as an offshore renminbi trading center. We should use strategic measures within a framework of 2 to 3 years. We can then restore our position as an international financial center, so that the number of IPOs in Hong Kong can regain its top 5 positions in the world, so that we won't continue to be missed out. Given geopolitical tensions, we must strengthen our system and awareness in risk management, so that we can be a firewall of risks for the country. We must have a risk management toolbox, and our insurance sector is developing rapidly. We can use that to boost the development of our shipping center. We have policies to become an asset management center. With these remarks, I support Ms. Starry Lee's motion of thanks. Mr. Yapatla, thank you. I speak in support of the motion of thanks. The policy address is a very rich policy document covering different sectors. The development dovetails the overall development of the country. We try for talents. We have policies for attracting and retain talents and enterprises. We try to increase the supply of land and housing and address the problem of subdivided units. We're going to be an educational hub to benefit our youth, and we have a promising future mapped out for us. The PA says that tourism is one of the major driving force of our economy. There are many paragraphs on promotion of the tourism industry and how we can boost the competitiveness of this sector. It has positively responded to many of my suggestions. This goes to show the importance attached to tourism by the government. The recovery of the tourism sector relies on the hard work of the sector and the support of the government. We have recovered about 70% in terms of a number of revivals, but there are uncertainties and geopolitical political tensions, and therefore recovery of the tourism sector are still full of challenges. We have to dovetail with GBA development. We have got 2 duty visit delegations to GBA, in which the secretary also joined. We have to assess the sector to develop new markets and new products. Hopefully the government continue to lead the sector to go out and to attract enterprises to come to Hong Kong. In the interest of time, I will only comment on a few important points of policy address on tourism development, manpower, development of smart traveling, and also the collaboration of tourism and MICE industries. Now, we have a manpower crunch in this sector for the past year or so. Together with the sector, I have discussed it with the Education Bureau, the Labor and Welfare Bureau, as well as the Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau, to tell them the manpower crunch we face. I'm grateful to the administration for launching this supplementary labor importation scheme for the transport industry so that we can import coach drivers, etc. And we have got a small door open to address this problem. This policy address also talked about relaxing the visa application for different countries and also the vocational professional admission scheme. Now for the vocational professional admission scheme, now for the professional diploma programs involved, the government has not included programs related to the tourism and hospitality industries. I think we should cover these sectors as well so that we can address the manpower shortage at the middle and upper ranks of this industry. Hopefully, the tourism board can enhance the collaboration between senior secondary students and also the sector so that the former can understand the operation of these latter and they will understand that tourism is a worthwhile career to pursue. The Culture, Sports and also Tourism Bureau is going to set up a committee to work on this.
The first blueprint for the tourism industry was put forward in 2017. At the time, smart tourism was proposed. However, smart tourism at the time meant enhancing connectivity and using the internet. The matching fund to help travel agents only consists of measures to digitize their operations. When it comes to smart tourism, it covers a much wider scope. There are 4 kinds of smart operations. In this industry chain, the aviation industry is more tech-savvy, such as using Bluetooth devices and e-tickets, so on and so forth. But when it comes to transport services for passengers, for visitors, we should further promote the use of smart technology so that they can adopt technology in their applications. The 3-year plan in the Greater Bay Area was earlier promulgated on using digital services. There is an initiative on going paperless on the inspection of home return permits. These measures will help promote tourism in the Greater Bay Area. The Hong Kong government should proactively dovetail with a national strategy so that drawing reference from this 3-year plan, we can further promote smart tourism. For example, a big data platform for tourism industry should be set up to provide a platform for interactions for the tourism industry and the consumers, for them to better understand the habits and the preferences of tourists. Using AI, etc., we can relieve labor shortage. We can apply innovation and technology to developing tourism products so that we can plan ahead for the transformation and upgrading of the tourism industry. I hope that the Smart Tourism Working Group can delve deeper into how we can apply innovation technology in the industry. The matching fund for travel agents cannot achieve this objective. The government should make good use of existing schemes such as the technology voucher scheme and other initiatives to help develop smart tourism and enhance the competitiveness of the tourism industry. President, I think that we need to plan for the development of the tourism industry. In new development areas, at the initial stage of infrastructure development, we should incorporate elements of tourism. There are a lot of places with tourism potential, but because of spatial constraints, these ideas have not been pursued. In the last term of government, the Northern Metropolis concept was put forward. Now, I am very concerned about details of the development. In this year's policy address, the Northern Metropolis Action Agenda has been put forward. There are 4 zones, such as the blue and green recreation, tourism, and conservation zone. This can showcase the eastern side of the Northern Metropolis, such as Robin's Nest, Yan Chao Tong, etc. Apart from natural landscape, there are also historical relics. We can create a cluster effect. I thank the government for collaborating with the Shuttlecock Authority. Now, when it comes to further opening up of the Shuttlecock in the second phase, Chong Ying Street is still being excluded. Chong Ying Street is rich with history. It can showcase one country, 2 systems. I hope that the government can expedite the opening up of Shuttlecock as well as Chong Ying Street so as to achieve the objective of making Chong Ying Street a tourist attraction. To plan ahead for the development of tourism industry in the eastern side of Northern Metropolis. Of course, we look forward to development of new tourism spots. At the same time, I'm concerned about Lantau. Lantau is rich with natural resources. I don't know if you subscribe to my views. In fact, if you go all the way from Mui Wo, Changsha Tai O, things haven't changed much in terms of infrastructure and other supporting facilities since my days in the secondary school. Now, in this year's policy address, it is said that in the southern Lantau, recreation, conservation facilities will be provided. There is a scenic trail for hikers from Tung Chung to Mui Wo, and also the Phoenix, the Lantau Peak, and other major spots, not to mention the fishermen's culture. Definitely, these are attractive places for tourists. For Northern Lantau, the 3rd runway system will be fully commissioned in 2024, together with the airport authority's vision of building an airport city. There will be an organic integration between these infrastructure facilities and natural landscape in Lantau. We can develop tourism products, but we need to enhance publicity. The government should attach more importance to the development of tourism there so that we can grasp the opportunity and be the bridgehead, because we can build a new tourist attraction comparable to Sentosa in Singapore so that we can bolster our status as an international tourism hub. President, well, under the strong support of the CEDB, Hong Kong Trade Development Council, and the Hong Kong Productivity Council, the MICE industry in Hong Kong is doing very well. We have attracted a lot of visitors with increased footfalls. We have also brought in a lot of high-spending visitors, however, overnight visitors. But we face a major bottleneck, and that is shortage of venues. Well, at last week's motion debate on deep, in-depth integration of culture, tourism, and sports, many members talked about developing the concert city. Well, in Macau, they have much larger space. In Hong Kong, however, we only have 157,000 square foot of space for concerts. We need to expand the Asia World Expo and build other facilities. We need to catch up. We need to be able to attract more large-scale exhibitions and concerts to come to Hong Kong and bring economic impetus. In policy formulation, the government should enhance their work in two areas. Vertically, the government should adopt this concept of industry chains. Perhaps it has to do with how the policy address is delivered. When it comes to explaining the policy, I have yet to see a holistic concept of supporting industry chains. From hotels, tourist attractions, travel agents, transportation, aviation, so on and so forth, I have yet to see holistic support for the chain. Now, horizontally, there should be cross-sectoral collaboration. After establishment of the Culture, Tourism, Sports Bureau, the government has promoted cross-sectoral collaboration, but there should be more collaboration among bureaus, especially collaboration with different industries, such as tourism, technology, entrepreneurs, etc. In fact, in last week's motion debate, members also gave a lot of food for thought for the government. The tourism strategy group will be upgraded to the level of committee to be chaired by the secretary. This is still not the same as what I have in mind. I wanted a high-level committee. Still, I hope that this committee will give play to its function. The membership should comprise experts and practitioners from the industry so as to drive the development of the chain. There should be collaboration between tourism and culture so that we all chip in to formulating the blueprint for the development of tourism industry 2.0 to bring impetus for growth in Hong Kong. I am going to suspend the meeting at about 6:30. Next, Mr. Adrian Ho. Thank you, President. In this year's policy address, the Chief Executive emphasizes that we must grasp opportunities and develop new impetus for growth. On enhancing competitiveness, there is continuity of government policies. We need to attract and retain enterprises as well as talents. In this year's policy address, the government puts forward the idea of developing the headquarters economy. Apart from attracting the mainland and overseas enterprises to set up presence in Hong Kong, we can invite them to set up the headquarters or regional offices in Hong Kong. In this way, definitely some important operations and offices will be set up. This can help enhance our capacity and help us draw for more talents. They will bring in capital, talents, technology, so on and so forth. These resources will bring new opportunities for other industries. We have no currency control, and we also have other advantages to help support the development of headquarters economy. Not to mention a series of measures in the policy address. For example, for foreign employees of Hong Kong registered enterprises, they can apply for multiple entry visas to the mainland. Tax breaks will be provided to these enterprises, and there will also be on-site support for expatriate staff for them to work and stay in Hong Kong. We can also help their family members settle in Hong Kong. This will create the favorable conditions for talents to come. I'm happy to see that the Chief Executive has accepted the New People's Party's suggestions, and a property stamp duty waiver arrangements will be put in place for overseas talents. The Talent Engage Office has also been set up to follow up on the various measures relating to talents. I hope that through cross-bureau collaboration, the government will continue to review the situation relating to talent so as to support the successful development of headquarters economy. As for the development of culture, sports, and tourism, the 14th Five-Year Plan provides that there should be in-depth integration of arts, of culture, sports, and tourism. It is also said that impactful tourism products comprising sports and culture should also be developed. Well, the government should likewise be enterprising. They should proactively integrate tourism with culture and sports so as to bring in new elements as well as dovetailing with the national strategy, so that we can help our country build a new tourism brand to help the industry scale new heights and bring impetus for growth. In the policy address, I fully agree with the suggestion of signature tourism products. We should encourage the industry to develop different kinds of tourism products on pop culture, national history, intangible cultural heritage experiences, etc., as well as building a cultural tourism zone in Shuttlecock so that we can tap resources previously unused, so that even locals can learn more about their home, and we can also join hands with tourists in developing or discovering the beauty of Hong Kong. Well, I think that we should build Hong Kong into a city of concerts. We should invite international celebrities and pop stars to host concerts as part of their world tour in Hong Kong. That means bringing fans from all over the world to Hong Kong as well. We can also develop the concert economy. When these fans stay in Hong Kong, they will definitely benefit the aviation, tourism, and retail industries. When they make spending, they can help promote night economy. They can perhaps take cruise ships so as to support the development of the cruise industry. Apart from concerts, we can also promote other parts of Hong Kong's pop culture, such as films, etc. In the 1980s, Alan Tam, Anita Mui, Leslie Cheung, and the four kings of pop music, they supported the entertainment industry in Hong Kong. They were hugely popular in Hong Kong, and some of them even broke sales records, such as Jackie Chan's album in 1993, Kiss and Say Goodbye. We also had movie stars making themselves a household name in international cities. Now in South Korea, with strong support from the government, they have achieved a lot of success in the entertainment industry. We need to catch up. The policy address provides that injections will be made totaling $4.3 billion to the Film Development Fund and the Create Smart initiative. I hope that this can help promote the industry's development. The policy address also refers to funding schemes to tap the mainland market, as well as a Hong Kong, Europe, Asia film exchange funding scheme. This can help foster collaboration and exchange with overseas counterparts. This can also help our talents learn from their overseas counterparts.
In other words, they can turn out higher quality products, and then they stand a chance to go out of Hong Kong, go to the international market, and we can also enhance overseas impression of our movie industry. The policy address also talks about our sports development. We should make it a history, make it popular, host more mega sports events like the Real Madrid, Manchester City, etc. Should be welcome to Hong Kong to hold competitions. Well, in fact, Real Madrid came to Hong Kong in the past. They had excellent players. I went there as well. It was good to revive the vitality of the city post-SARS in 2003. With the pandemic behind us, in 2025, we have the Kai Tak Sports Park. We should make good use of that venue to host more mega events. We have the Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge. We should also have more events running races on the bridge itself. When it comes to sports events, just now we have just completed the cross rally race. In fact, it took place at the waterfront. It is an M-mark event. However, right before it started, it was said that 2 lanes would be sort of eliminated. Well, it has tarnished the image. Of course, I believe that the relevant organizer has tried its best to launch a successful event. I hope that in future they can make it better, learn from the experience, so that locals, overseas visitors, as well as participants will have a good memory and a good experience. And I hope that one day on across the road we are able to watch at a close distance Formula 1 races. So I spoke. Mr. Yang Wen-kit, thank you, Mr. President. The CE spent 3 hours to read out his PA speech, the longest ever. It has a lot of contents. I'm grateful to the CE to a very extent adopted the suggestions from the A4 Alliance, like mental health, increasing birth rates, etc. I would like to say that it is a substantial and substantive PA. And we should dovetail the national strategy. We should develop Hong Kong in relation to the 8 centers. We should become the East Mid-West Cultural Exchange Center. The policy address is realizing this direction. A number of measures have been raised, say, for example, covering the movie industry, the film industry. Well, in the last century, we had a prospering film industry. In the 1980s, 1990s, we became the Hollywood in the East. We had Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Leslie Cheung, among other mega stars. But then the momentum was lost, and then the movie industries, the movies were all produced on the mainland. Now, on this occasion, the PA has said that $4.3 billion will be injected into the movie industry, and there will be encouragement to production with the mainland counterparts, as well as cooperation with the European countries. In this way, we can tap new markets. Well, Director Bureau, I just want to know whether there are other ways to enhance our role as the window of movie industries. Can we not try to help the Chinese movies to go to the international market, have it shown in different cinemas all around the world? Because we should ride on the advantage of having the backing of the motherland while having connections with the rest of the world. Can we not ask the relevant national administration to come to Hong Kong to set up an office here, so that our Hong Kong movies can also be screened and checked before they were shown in mainland cinemas? We should invite investors, producers, script writers, etc., from the European countries and from the US to join this platform. In this way, we should also help to raise funds, and this can go a long way to solve the problem of lack of capital. We have to sell our advantages. There should be more international forums, summits for the participants, so that there will be chances for them to exchange their views. There should be movie festivals as well. And stars, producers should be invited to come to Hong Kong, and then they can experience our movies. And our TV drama series used to be very popular, like the story about the Shanghai waterfront, etc. We used to have a lot of classic TV drama, and all of them were well received. It shows that local TV drama series are still very attractive. the audience like the special characteristics of Hong Kong TV drama series. And in fact, overseas Chinese would also like to buy the My TV Super TV box to watch our TV drama series. Perhaps we can cooperate with the southeastern countries so that their smart TV can have the My TV Super box set incorporated into the TV sets. In this way, we can tap into their markets. We should also publicize the brand names of our local TV stations. In other words, the audience all over the world can watch our TV series and they can learn about our culture. In other words, we become the exchange center for the Eastern as well as the Western cultures. I'm also surprised by two policies in the policy address, and they're good measures, like the ultra-low birth rate. We know that this is a fact. If we do not do anything now, the birth rate will only go down further. The government has come up with a package of measures, housing, assisted childbearing, etc., among the various measures raised. Well, I have said that you must make sure that you put in a lot of efforts. The 25th of October was adopted as the cut-off date. I would ask the government to relax the criteria. Anybody who has children born this year should qualify. And in fact, there should be a relaxation of the criteria, and then it can add to the sense of satisfaction of the parents. Now, newborn babies will have their waiting time for public housing cut by a year. And also, the parent applicants will also get priority if they apply under the GHS. Perhaps the government should further fine-tune the housing policies. For example, for pregnant ladies who are pregnant for 16 weeks, they should be regarded as having a new family member. I think the housing authority can adopt this as the criteria, and then we can process the applications in advance. Say, for example, let them know which district they can choose a flat, and then they can make arrangements concerning their work, concerning the schooling of the children. GHS used to be very popular. In the past 2 years, on average, 5,000 HOS units were sold. 10% would mean 500 flats. Last year, there were 32,500 births. If 10% of them would like to be interested. In other words, there will be 3,200 applications. Now that the government has already got an oversupply of housing units, I think it's better for the government to increase the proportion so that they stand a higher chance to get a flat allocated. Now, it takes more than just talk about the grassroots families. Perhaps the first home buyers as well as the first home buyers should also have their stamp duties cut if they have a newborn baby. Again, we need to be flexible. Now, many landlords are worried that when they sell their HOS flat, it's difficult for them to buy a new one. So we have a limited supply of such flats in the secondary market. Perhaps we should allow the landlord to get a quota in the secondary HOS market, and in this way we can tie in with the government's measures to revitalize the HOS market. The turnover rate can be enhanced. In other words, the HOS will take up a very good position at the housing ladder. Mr. President, there's another surprise. There is the proposal to have the MTR extended to East Kowloon uphill, as well as having the Kai Tak transportation system. I think it's good because it means that there will be better transport connection with the Kai Tak Sports Park as well as the Kai Tak Cruise Terminal. For the MTR extension, we should also we should look at the connecting stations like the Children's Hospital, etc. We should also have it connected with the Yau Tong MTR station, because Yau Tong Pei will see a lot of new developments. There will be public housing, there will be commercial developments. Seeing that, perhaps the Bureau should consider having the monorail being connected with Yau Tong from Kai Tak Cruise Terminal. In this way, the East Kowloon transport network can be enhanced. It will be easier for the residents there to go to other places, and then the waterfront can also be revitalized, and it can add to the tourism attractions there. For the East Kowloon MTR line, I won't harp on that. Rather, I would like to make a new suggestion. That is the Central Kowloon line. As you know that for Wong Tai Sin, 200,000 residents live up here. For Wong Tai Sin, perhaps we should also have a Central Kowloon extension so as to address the transport needs from Choi Hong to Hammer Hill, Chewan San, Lok Fu. That can become a very convenient link. So I spoke, Mr. President, I speak in support of the motion. We'll now suspend the meeting. It will be resumed at 9 o'clock tomorrow.